You want to transform the watch into a secure source for all identification needs using vein patterns, measured by an innovative buckle on the watch. Which parts of the solution are unique and patented?
Hello. Yes, we are looking at your wrist vein pattern as a unique biometric, like a fingerprint. And in order to take nice images of your vein pattern from the strap of the watch, the buckle, we had to be innovative in the way we acquire images, and we have several patents on how to acquire images from the buckle. We also have patents and trade secret on the algorithm, how to make the images recognized automatically regarding a biometric template that you had. And we also have patent on design for the buckle and patent on how to keep the authentication that you do first time you wear the watch last as long as you don't open the clasp again. So it's a small family of IP, and we are keeping extending that.
Are you looking at other wearable components to use for identification beside the watch?
We are strongly focusing on our USP around wrist vein recognition, so we keep looking at the wrist-worn wearable. But I'm not excluding that in the future we extend this wearable concept, but so far just wrist. Yeah.
If there is a single device to all your pins, passwords, access codes, etc., what happens if you lose it?
So if you lose this device, first of all, you can be quite sure that no one will use it, because there is this biometric protection. So only you can unlock it, let's say. But then still you want to recover, so the first idea is to have a spare device at home or at your neighbor, your family, in your car, wherever. Anyway, you don't risk them to use it. So that's like your car key, a spare device. But also, as it is all digital, we are thinking of providing services for cloud-based recovery, only for the one who wants.
Which are the primary market segments for your device, and which is your going-to-market model?
So the first target, easier to access, is a corporate market with access control, both physical and logical, at the workplace. So in a simple word, replacing the badges and the passwords in companies. So that would be the first use case we want to provide. So people can internally test before they actually build services on the top of the device and provide a wider range of services to end customer.
How far are you into production of the final device, and what are the next major steps in your business plan?
So the algorithm software, let's say, was very depending on the quality of the images our hardware was able to provide. So we put a strong focus on the hardware first, also because the size of the hardware was a no-go on our product. We still have to be very small to fit the strap and everything. So we made the miniaturization of the hardware for the last year, and now we're good. Beginning of 2017, we have this miniaturized module hardware done that we will then have to industrialize, so we can make a lot per month. And so next focus is on the firmware, so to integrate all the use cases like payment, access control, password manager, all these use cases. That will be an ongoing work since the end of 2016 and all the year 2017. And the algorithm is now a strong focus too, because we are in the phases of acquiring a lot of images based on the prototype we did, and even more with the product miniaturized that will come beginning 2017. And images are like oil for us, because that's how we can improve drastically the algorithm.
What exactly do you want to achieve within the 11 weeks at the Kickstart Accelerator?
So at Kickstart Accelerator, there is one thing I would like to see happening, is that all the sponsors, the partners of the accelerator, understand the added value of Biowatch for internal use cases at the workplace, so they pilot our solution So they can be more familiar with that. When they understand that it works, they can scale up internally, but start also building use cases for end users. So I think banks can start working on wearable payment or e-banking access. But as you know, everything is being digitalized, so kind of all the partners have, as a service that they could provide via Biowatch to end user.
Which parts are developed and produced in Switzerland, and where will you grow your business in the future?
So far, everything is made in Switzerland, from the design of the buckle, which is something Swiss can do better than anyone, and also the hardware. With the Swiss Center for Electronics and Microelectronics in Neuchâtel, we are prototyping the miniaturization of the electronics, and we are looking for Swiss partners for making the first series of products. So far it's all Swiss, even the algorithm, because all our team is based in Switzerland. But it's not excluded that when we will mass market the product, we will have to go outside because of just level of facilities. We have to look in maybe China, all this kind of thing. But so far 100% Swiss made.
Which are the biggest obstacles you have to overcome to make Biowatch an international success?
We absolutely need traction and all the service providers that allied to provide Biowatch a strong ecosystem of use case. If your Biowatch is not able to do anything, then it will never be a success. But if your Biowatch is able to do everything, from replacing all the cards you have in your wallet, all the passwords you have in your mind, then it's becoming very compelling. So I mean, the main challenge is to make the ecosystem. And of course, this is after assuming that the core of the product is working great, so a great miniaturized hardware and a great algorithm. That's the basics, I would say.
Who are the biggest shareholders of the company, and do you already have investors on board?
So we started the company with two co-founders, myself and Joe Rice, which is a British guy, 68 years old, and actually the inventor of vein recognition back in the 80s. So the fact that your vein pattern, wherever in the body, but especially in the hands, can be used as a fingerprint, as a unique way to recognize who is who, especially when illuminating on the infrared. So that was his patent, but he was also explaining, articulating the whole concept of Biowatch back in the 80s. And that's how, reading this patent, that I discovered this concept of wearable biometrics and Biowatch. I contacted him and we started. So two co-founders, 50-50. And then later on we had some investors joining us. And then Patrick Delarive is a serial entrepreneur based in Lausanne, very successful. And so he's now, I would say, the third most important shareholder after the two co-founders. And he's really pushing the financing of Biowatch further. So yeah, thank you, Patrick.
Which are the biggest competitors you are facing?
As you understand, all the big tech companies, not to mention them, Apple, Samsung, Huawei, Lenovo, LG, Sony, it goes on. But all these big guys have everything in hands to do what we do. But they are also one of the best opportunities, because it makes sense for them to look at what we do too. So it's always great opportunities. But especially looking at wearable biometrics, so another biometrics that can be used in replacement of wrist vein with the same concept. There is one called NIMI. It's a Canadian-based company. They have a product or a pre-product on the market for corporate access control, and they raised $14 million in Series A. So if someone doubts about the concept, they proved it at least.
Which development do you think will have the biggest influence in your industry in the coming years?
The quality of the biometrics is very important. You need to have a biometric that is reliable, so it works only on you, let's say, but also a biometrics that is attack-proof. So something you cannot fake easily. You know all the stories with fingerprint. So if you have a biometric that is robust, in these both ways of thinking robustness, and compatible with this concept of wearable biometrics, so you can use the biometric to activate the wearable and leverage on this on one-time activation, then you have something that is very strong and that will, I guess, revolutionize the whole industry of identification and biometrics.
What is your favorite exit scenario with Biowatch?
You know, I'm already part of the happy few, lucky to be interviewed, but if I can dream to be even more in the happy few, I would say IPO. IPO is not for everyone, but that would be the best achievement we can do, meaning that we have a very appealing product and a wide traction and ecosystem. They are the two sine qua non condition before an IPO, and that would be, I think, very success story for Biowatch.
At the end of the interview, you are granted 2 wishes. What are they?
So the first wish is to be heard from all the partners at Kickstart Accelerator, so they can commit in a proof of concept or pilot quite soon. And my second one is to see all my challenges solved one after the other, and the sooner the better.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.